Hi, Zane. I'm just having a look at a couple of air attempts you had, and this is one of the better ones, so I just wanted to go through it. I've used Owen Wright as another goofy footer as a model, and what I've done is I'm going to go through the different components that you need to do a good air. And the first one is, um, so we're looking at an air reverse, and the first one is to generate speed, rising and falling on the wave. You tend to just stay in one position and hope that you're going to gain speed that way. Would have been far better if you generated a bit of speed by taking different heights along the wave, and if you watch later on I'll show you that. Next thing is to launch from a flat angle, which you did really well. The next thing is you rotate, and you did that pretty well. The trouble is this part here, so you didn't center over your board, and therefore you came off. And when you land, you need to land in a compressed position, weight over your front knee if you get that far. And the next thing you need to do is on landing commence a quick rotation so that you can complete your maneuver. So we'll go back. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click forward here, frame by frame, rather than trying to, I'll pause it where necessary. But so if we can see Owen, he's actually generating a lot of speed, and he's doing that by going the top and the bottom of the wave. What you've tended to do, so see Owen going, and before that he was even using more of the wave to do that. Now see the angle in which both you're leaving, so if I draw on that, coming out an angle around about here somewhere. Your angle's fairly similar, which is really good. So I've got no problem with that, that's really good. So far you're there. Just need to use a little bit more, down the line you just have to pump a little bit more, so you're just getting that little raise or height. You don't have to actually do top to bottom, but you have to certainly get a little bit more speed by generating through that way rather than just choosing one line in the middle of the wave. The next thing is, what you want to do then is, so you're generating the speed, you've launched from a flat angle, and the next thing is the rotation. So as we move along a couple more frames, and we look here, now what's happening here is you're certainly similar position to our model, very similar indeed. If you look at those two, you're nearly a reflection of one another, which is excellent. Here's where it lets you down, because what happens is, what we can see is the compression over the board. Now if we look at Owen here, and Owen's weight's all over here, trying to rotate now, your centre of gravity really is coming off the board down here, and so that's the huge difference. His board's underneath him, your board's not. That's what causes you to fall, and unfortunately you don't complete this manoeuvre. If I move on through a few more frames, the rotation, can you see how the idea was there? I mean, if I look at the two boards there, it's excellent, because your board here on that angle there, bang, and his there like that, and yours like that. But obviously if we take a look at your body and your body position, you've come off the board. So the idea was there, it was great, but see how your feet are all off the board, and basically, yeah, you're all over the shop because you haven't centered over the stringer, or you haven't got all your weight over your front foot as well, and so you've consequently slipped off. Get rid of that, and then a few more frames, and you can see that you actually fall. But what happens here is, with Owen, he gets to the next stage, which I think is landing in a compressed position with his weight over his front knee. And I move a few more frames again. And now what happens here is he goes to the final stage where he really whips through really quick. Bang. So watch through here, we'll move through, and he rotates really quickly to finish his turn off, and then he actually surfs out of it, which is really impressive. So I mean, that's a really good example of a goofy doing a forehand air reverse. So that air reverse is something you should really be thinking about trying to put into your repertoire, and you're doing a really good job of it if you're a young bloke. So I'm really stoked with what you're doing. But let me just try and get him back to where I want him. About here somewhere. Get you
Hopefully back to the start. Let's just play it through and see what it looks like. It's probably not quite synced as well as it was before. So we're looking at the air reverse. So have a look. And that's how you complete them. That's how you don't complete them. And it's up to you now to work on completing them. But well done, mate, for Little Blake. You're ripping. And love coaching you. Check you out next time, hey? See ya.